What's going on? Today I have a little bit different of a video for you guys. So I was talking to Tom about a week ago on the phone, and we always just catch up and talk about YouTube stuff and skate stuff and just kind of just shit talk and stuff like that. And one of the things he brought up was some content ideas kind of to help me figure out what exactly I want to do with my channel. And he was like, dude, you should throw one of your video parts up like I did and kind of walk people through what it was like to film that video part and just everything that went into it, from traveling, trips, challenges, all types of stuff. I get to relive all of it, and it's pretty sick. And hopefully you guys are stoked on it. If you guys do like this type of video, please let me know, because I read every last one of your comments. The front crook video had so much feedback, whether it was how to do front crooks or my mic sucking or whatever it was. And I love to hear all that because it helps me kind of refine what I'm doing here, because I am still pretty new to making videos myself. So I'm happy that I'm getting your feedback and I'm able to try to improve in little ways from the next video to the next one to the next one. The video part that I'm going to be watching today is my Santa Cruz Till The End Volume 5 part. This became my pro part. It came out a year after I turned pro, and the reason that it came out a year after is because I turned pro in February of 2020. We didn't really get to go on trips for a while. It was really hard to kind of get the crew together and just operate how we usually do. So the second half of this was pretty much just what I could get done with Nick in LA, or if we did go on trips, it'd be pretty small missions, maybe to San Francisco or anything around here. But it was definitely a very challenging video part to finish because the world was chaotic. That being said, skate spots were open, and that was sick, and that did make it easier. But as far as actually being able to get out with the crew of dudes that I usually would skate with, it was almost impossible. And before I get into this, I just want to shout you guys out, because you guys have been subbing and you have been commenting and being very active on my channel. I appreciate that more than you guys know. I'm going to keep making these videos and keep trying some different stuff, just so you guys can either get some more insight on some skating or just some behind the scenes stuff like I'm doing right now. So yeah, let's get into the video. So this part was really funny because me and Winkowski were skating these little curb cut tree, I don't even know how to explain them. They're almost ollie into the sidewalk from the street, and you can grind it or slide it as a curve ledge. And I just remember we were trying to figure out how to skate the spot, and Nick was pointing his camera at Winkowski, and I was saying here, you go first. The camera's already pointed at you. You can go first. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I just had no idea how to skate it, and I just wanted to see how he was going to do it first. I was really, really hyped when Joe had called me, because he wanted intros from everyone in this video to kind of be their hometown or where they currently reside. And at the time, I was in Reading for this. And I love tying in where I'm from any way possible. I have the pagoda on one of my boards. I have my dog on another board, or a few boards. And I just like to tie in personal stuff about me. So when he was look, I need a shot of wherever you're from, the first thing I thought was I gotta go to the pagoda, and then I gotta go to Penn Street, do a kickflip over a hydrant, just tying my hometown to something, because to me, I'm broadcasting this to a way greater audience than my hometown. So any chance I get to showcase my home city, I'll take that. So this spot here was in Argentina, and it was so weird to skate. For what I usually like to skate, a bump up a 7 stair, this is something that was really fun. But what made it really hard to skate was there was this little 2 stair that was right maybe 6 feet after you would land, and I would run into that every time, and there was a fountain on the other side of it. So the battle for this trick wasn't even the trick. It was me being afraid that I was gonna just run into the stairs, either by wheel bite and kind of just fall into it, or I would actually run into the stairs with my board and roll over the ledge into the fountain. So this was really tricky. It probably looks a bit tricky. I wasn't really the happiest with how I did it, but it was a pretty long battle, just because mentally I couldn't get myself to just commit, because I was too kind of shook that I was gonna hit the stairs or I was gonna just roll into the fountain. So this spot was really sick. This is like right outside of Skid Row in LA, and it was kind of going for a little bit. I don't know if they just like put this rail in because maybe like someone bought the building, because it's kind of usually how spots pop up in LA, especially in like an area like this. People had been skating it, and I remember I rolled by this place with Nick, and I remember seeing John Dixon skate this, and I was just like, look, like John Dixon is I think he's one of the sickest skaters, and we just spun the block. I was like, look, I'm gonna let them just do their thing. Like, Nick, let's just go get a coffee or like some food or something, and like we'll come back, because I don't want to interrupt them. They're probably doing some heavy shit, so I'm gonna just back up a little bit. And we came back 20 minutes later. They were gone. The dude painting the mural on the side of the building was on a scissor lift, and he knew a lot about skating. He said he skated himself, which usually people say that and you kind of call bullshit, but he skated himself and was telling me every last trick that was done, because I was like, hey, was kickflip crook done? And he was like, nah, so-and-so did this trick, this trick, this trick, and that one's open. So it was like kind of crazy that like he just had been there for so long that he knew every trick that went down. And he was like, dude, people have been coming back like every 20 minutes, like everyone's been skating this spot. So I was able to make sure that my trick hadn't been done. And then also, like, he's a really dope artist. His name is and he paints buildings all around the world and has beautiful art. The spot was really good. It was a little kicky front tail, like just really, really good hubba. That was also in Argentina, and rest in peace, Henry. Anytime I see him, I gotta say it. This was another crazy spot. Me and Nick were just driving through some hills in LA. We were probably like in between spots and stuff, and we just saw this gap, and we were like, dude, this thing is like pretty sick. Like, we never really seen it, which is kind of rare when you skate spots in LA, because everything has pretty much been skated. But personally, I just feel pretty like fucked up skating someone's house, because that is someone's property. Like, if it's an apartment, it's a little different because it's not like their personal home, but someone's house, like, I feel a little weird. So we end up seeing the dude walk out the door, and we were like, hey, like, is it cool if we skate this? You know, like, we'll put everything back. We'll make sure we don't break anything. If we break anything, we'll pay for it, whatever. And the dude walking out was like, this is my dad's house. I don't really care, and I don't think he'll care. So just as long as you don't break the plants, like, he had like these little planters like on the run up. It's like, as long as you don't break the pots, like, I don't really care. So me and Nick just went, we took the mats off, we just got to work, and I'm stoked on this clip. This is one of my favorite clips in the whole part. This was another spot in Argentina. This spot was really, really sick. Like, I like any spot that you can kind of get like a 3-trick line, especially something you can go up and then do something in the middle and then jump down something. Wasn't very big, but it was definitely a pretty like challenging way for me to skate it. Very like quick foot for the first kind of 2 tricks, and then I think I just learned how to varial heel like proper enough to take it down something. So I was like juiced on that. I was like, I need to do this, down this. I don't care that it's not that big. Like, it's just a new trick that I want to put out. Of course, you got to kickflip a bump to bar in one of my parts. It's just my favorite trick and my favorite obstacle. So this line was pretty crazy, because like I go back to that spot now and I think like nollie flipping over that rail the hard way to start a line, like I could do it again, but like to start a line like that and then do backside flip nose grind, which at the time I was like, I think I learned it there maybe, or like maybe had done it one other time. So like the agony that I probably put Nick through, because these are 2 of the 2 first tricks probably took me, I don't even know. This line took a long time. So I'm sorry, Nick. Sometimes I pick tricks that are just extremely hard, especially put together, and I choose like 3 of them at a time. So my bad. But we got it done, and this is another line I was really hyped on. It was a new trick that I really hadn't done and definitely hadn't filmed it. So I was stoked that I was able to get this at this spot. I feel like there was a fire right around like mid 2020. It was like the summer of 2020. There was a pretty big fire, and I can't remember if it was in California. Maybe it was like Northern California, maybe Oregon, but like the smoke had come down. And I just remember skating this spot, and like it was extremely hot, because this is in the valley and it's already hot enough, but then plus fires and all that. Also, Henry wall rode this. Same session, we did it together. I think this might have been a couple tries after he landed his, and It was sick. It's dope when you and the homie can skate a spot together and both get clips, because sometimes that's easier said than done. This one was dope. We were in Tampa for, I want to say, Tampa Pro. Yeah, this had to be Tampa Pro because I had just turned pro and Nibs was about to turn pro. I think we were on the way to turn Nibs pro right after this. I think he was with his family or something in Tampa. We saw this spot and we were like, dude, we should just skate it, whatever. Right after this, we went to Clement's house, and he always has an event like Tampa Pro weekend, Tampa Am weekend, and we went there to surprise Nibs. So we went straight from the streets to surprise Nibs. I remember he was on FaceTime with Braun, and Braun had like put his phone up so that Nibs could see me try the trick, and I just remember him like being encouraging but also being like Nibs and kind of talking a little shit like, come on dog, like I thought you were pro, I thought you got this, I thought you got that. So it was pretty sick. That was a cool memory because we got the clip. I was stoked, like the squad was hyped, and then we went and turned our friend pro, which is like one of the most amazing things that I get to do as a pro skater and riding for a brand that is actively turning great people pro. This one was in Melbourne, Australia. I've seen so many people skate this and it looks so cool. So when we pulled up, I was like, I need to do something down this. And at this time, hard flips were just working really well. And I want to say like, I might have airballed maybe like a couple of these. Like I might have this might have been like 6th, 7th try, but all the tries before that were like not even close. And all I can remember is getting skinned alive at the bottom because that ground was so bad. Like the top is pretty good. It's all like tile, kind of brick almost. And like, it sounds really cool and it's really smooth, but once you get to the bottom, it's just complete shit. So this was actually like super gnarly. Like it was one of those slams where like, I didn't really know it was coming. Like I was obviously turned around. And when I hit, I really thought I thought something like really, really got messed up. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I remember just getting up and like looking at Nick, and like, he looked at me like as if I just like broke my leg or something. And to be honest, I kind of believed it because I was like, I don't know if I'm all right. Like I was still kind of numb. I think I was a little in shock. And like, I just looked up at him like, I think I'm all right. And I just got up and it was fine. I kind of walked it off and it was good. I do remember this one being a little bit of a battle because it was just like the rail was really tall and it was really short. It was a great rail, but like where I was locking into crook, it was just so far down the rail that like I almost had to be ready to turn as soon as I flicked into the grind. Just one of those tricks that I just blacked out and it worked, and I was so hyped because like it took a while. It probably was like about a 2-hour, probably 2.5 hour battle. Some tries like were close, but like they weren't super close. This one was like, I was able to I just did it, and I was like rolling off the curb. I just remember rolling off the curb and being like, I'm done, thank God. Like I just like fell in the grass because I was so tired. I was trying tray flip nose slide. I don't really know why I was trying tray flip nose slide. I think maybe just at the time I was like hyped on the trick, and I was there with Nick. I feel like Kelly Hart was here. I think Kelly was here because he was doing something with S just at USC. Like he was like, dude, I think you crooked it. And I remember being like, I don't know if I did. I don't know. And we looked at the footage and I tray flip crooked it, and Nick was like, do you want to try it again because you were trying nose slide? And I was like, hell nah. I just kept it because I was like, dude, I think crook might be sicker, and it just worked out. And I don't really get a lot of those tricks where like I'm trying one thing and like something better happens. So I just kept it, and I never was even trying to do crook. It just happened and it pulled away. And I went home with a clip because clips are never free. And this one kind of came at a discount and I took it. I feel like I wasn't even filming for a video part for it. Like this was actually an old clip. I did this because that was like one of the very first VX boards, and I remember they wanted like some promo for it, like just kind of like showcasing like the technology, how it's poppy, and like you can ollie a little higher, it's a little stronger, stuff like that. And I remember we found this spot and I was like, I'm just gonna kickflip up the stairs because I mean takes a lot of pop to kickflip up a set of stairs, and I just did that. And I remember like never seeing the clip again. Like it just never came out for what I thought it was gonna come out for. And then I see this video part and it's in there, and I was like, oh shit. So I guess like Joe was stoked enough. He thought like, dude, this is a sick clip, and he threw it in there, and I wasn't mad. I mean, I don't really get to like kickflip just straight up a stair set too much, especially when that was like a pretty long like stair set. So I was hyped. I was like, sick, there's that clip. Like that might be the oldest clip in here. That's probably like, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even remember what year it was. I just know it's a lot older than the rest of the stuff in here. This spot here was amazing. Like, this is in Pennsylvania, which is crazy that this perfect of a bump to bar was there. It wasn't like absolutely perfect. The ground was pretty bad. You kind of had to like either throw down, you know, on the curb or like ollie up the curb or whatever and then push to it. But it was like absolutely perfect. As far as dimensions, one of the better bump to bars that I skated. I think my homie Luke actually showed me this because he's local up there, and he just was like, dude, I got this bump to bar, you gotta skate. And he actually shot a photo, and it ended up in Skate John, which was really, really sick because Skate John is dope. That spot was like one of the first spots some of the locals from Rosemead took me to. Like, if you've ever been to Rosemead Park, you've probably seen this up rail. It's only like 2 blocks away. And I just remember thinking like, dude, I gotta get something on this. Like, me and Nick were probably at the park just skating. Like, maybe we were filming some like other little thing there or whatever. But I was like, dude, I gotta get a trick on this because like, it's Rosemead. This feels like my second home. So I went there, and yeah, one just worked out real good, and I was hyped. I was like, sick. I don't ever want to skate this thing again because it actually kind of sucks. This spot is actually, in hindsight, pretty terrible. Like, they're aluminum benches. They're not really that special, but I was hyped that I could put a spot that's in my hometown in my video part as a professional skateboarder, because this is what my friends skate. Like, this is just something you go to that you hang out, like there's lights on at night. My dad also refs basketball and runs a basketball league up here, which is like pretty sick too. So like the spot is like more sentimental to me than anything. It's not a very good spot. It does suck, but to me it's special and it's important. And I was happy that I was able to like get this spot in this video part because it means something. This is another one of those spots that's like pretty special to me because it's not like that great of a spot either, but it takes a lot of creativity for someone to figure out what to do here, which is like what I think embodies skateboarding on the East Coast to begin with. So it's another spot that I wanted in here that like, it might look simple to skate, but it's really not. Like, there's not much to it, so you have to try hard to make something out of nothing. For someone from Reading to see this spot in this video part on Thrasher, like, to them that gets them stoked. If I was a kid and I saw this, I'd be hyped. When I used to see Kyle Nicholson on like the Barracks or like some Thrasher edit, my mind was blown because someone that I knew who skated Stonecliff and Wind Waves was somewhere that was where I would hope or dream to be one day. This one was pretty cool. I feel like this was in Melbourne. I could be wrong, could be in Sydney. It might have been Melbourne, but it was definitely in Australia. I just like curb ledges. This had to be like right after Charm City closed, and they used to have a curb ledge just like this, and I used to kickflip crooked all the time, and that's immediately what I thought. I was like, this is the curb ledge at Charm City, not the Baltimore one, but the Mason-Dixon one. And I was like, I already know how to do this. So sometimes it's a little easier that way when you already know how to do a trick on a certain obstacle at a skate park. You just go to a spot that's almost the same and just airdrop your trick to the spot. And that's like what basically happened. I was able to just kind of figure it out pretty quickly and move on and get a kickflip crook, which another one of my favorite tricks. This one was wild. Nick and I were not even going to UCLA to skate this. We were just like kind of lost a little bit. Like, we didn't really know what to skate. We kind of were just in one of those moods, like spent all day in the car, like, should we go here, should we go there? Nothing was really working out. And he was like, you know what, that curve ledge at UCLA just got unnobbed, like, let's go check it out, see what you can do there. And at this time, I don't think I ever nose blunt ollie flipped anything other than just a straight ledge. And I was like, all right, I'll go try it. Like, I'll see if I can like maybe figure out how to like stay in a nose blunt for the whole ledge or whatever. And we go there and I just like do a couple nose blunts. I kind of just went straight to it because like 50ing it was kind of weird, and like maybe I tail slid it or something, but I didn't 50 it or anything like that. And I just remember doing nose blunt in maybe like 3 tries. And I was like, damn, that was actually a lot easier than I thought. And then I probably flicked the first one and like just kicked it away. And then maybe 40 minutes later, like I think I did it. It was like not very much of a battle. It was one of the easier tricks in this part for me to film, which is kind of surprising because it probably shouldn't have been as easy as it was. Like maybe I just was feeling good that day, or like I got lucky. I don't know, but it definitely surprised me how quickly I was able to do it. And I think Nick and I were just like, sick. I think we're good. Like we could just go back towards our zone because I don't know if there's going to be a bigger highlight than this. Like we kind of just handled that pretty quick. This one it's special. This is the Maldonado spot. This is Westchester, Pennsylvania. I just needed to show love, an ode to the greats that came before me. Shout out Maldonado. That's the man right there. So this is the classic Miami, the North Miami bump to bar. It's pretty much perfect. It's like a skate park. It is a little tricky. There's like kind of a like rounded bump, and like a lot of people who skate it maybe put like a little piece of tape or like a sticker just to kind of try to figure out where the hell you have to pop off of, because a lot of times you just miss the pop and pop a little too late and then hit the bar. And I remember this one, I went here with nollie flip in mind, and there was a couple that were like pretty close. I caught it over the rail and I just wasn't ready and I kicked it away, and I just got way too tired. And then I switched to nollie backside flip, and the same thing happened. Got close, got way too tired. And that was probably like maybe 2 hours in. Like it was probably like an hour 15 for each of those tricks. I'm about 2.5 hours in, and everyone's just like either laying down in the van sleeping, or like laying on top of the van, or like just laying on the floor. Like it was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. And I was like, dude, I gotta get something here. Like I kind of came to Miami wanting to skate this, so like I need to get something. So I was like, I'm gonna try front big spin because I've been popping off my front leg. My back leg's probably fine. And I did, and my back leg was like at 100% strength. And then I probably spent another hour on that, and then I was able to come away with it, which was dope. Like during that battle, like I was like, this is not worth it. This is like, I'm just wasting time at this point. But after it, I was like, nah, this is dope, because I came here, I was getting beat the hell up, and now I came away with something. Even though it wasn't what I wanted, I still came away with something I'm proud of. So this spot was pretty cool. Like you could take the bar out, like the bar was broken. You could like set it back into its post and make it a spot like this. But some people were starting to like take it out and make it like a handrail. I remember this one being kind of difficult because the runway was pretty narrow, and like the ground was just like real smooth, and I felt like I was just like missing my pop because I would just like, my nose would just slide off the edge. I told myself, I was like, I need this trick. Like I want to land this nollie flip. And also Danny Fuenzalito was there, and he's the king of Miami, and he nollie backside flipped this, and I was like, I gotta pay respect to the OG, because he was there watching, hyping it up. Like there wasn't a single try that he didn't come up and like dap me up and say like, you got this, or just like, he was just the hype man the entire time. This was also another late night like mission, and he was at full energy the whole time, which was pretty sick. This one right here was such a battle. This was the hardest trick in my entire part for me to do. This is the longest battle I had. I think Nick and Melcher passed this spot, and they both were like, dude, you gotta kickflip this. And anytime Melcher sees any type of like thing that he could tow me in on a motorcycle, he's like, dude, I got the motorcycle, I'm down, let's do it. What ended up happening is I was away, I think I was back home. By the time I was back in LA, Elijah Burrell already kickflipped it. He did a really good kickflip over it. I was stoked to see it. But then I was like, damn, I have to try something else. And the next thing in line with the tricks I do, it's always kickflip and then frontside flip. So I was like, I'm gonna try to frontside flip it. And I get there, and it was just so close. Like the bar wasn't that high. It's just the post was really close to the bump. So I had to figure out all types of things, like how fast I needed the motorcycle to go, when I needed to let go of the bike, how the bike needed to kind of get out of my way a little bit so I could go over it, like all types of things. And this went on for like 4 or 5 sessions. So like each crew was different. At one point I had my dad on the session because I think he was visiting me, and I was like, Pops, I gotta try to land, like I'm trying to land this trick. I'm trying to finish my video part. So like you just gotta come kick it. And he was hyped. He pulled up in my car, he had my dog in the passenger seat, and he was just watching. And unfortunately I didn't get it that time, but the time I did get it, it felt like the whole Kingswell family was there. It was like the spotters, you had JD shooting the photo, Nick was filming, Spencer was filming another angle, you had Melch towing me in on the bike. Like, it was the whole Kingswell squad. There were no cars that were passing when I was going. They put their lives on the line. They went right in front of cars, made sure no one was passing, no one was gonna hit me. And without that, I couldn't have done it. So this was a special moment for me. It solidified the family that I have in LA, being that Kingswell has got my back. And shout out Kingswell. They've always had my back for anything I needed. And this day, this meant a lot to me. I have a picture hung up in my house of me and Melcher hugging after this, and that same photo is inside of Kingswell because that was just such a special moment. Like, it was a battle. I'm talking, Melcher was running out of gas. Like, his bike ran out of gas the one night because we tried it for so long. I'm in that tunnel. There's the fires that I mentioned before. That's the same time period, like smoke in the air, COVID, in the tunnel, gasoline. Like, it was all fucked up. I'm happy that I stuck that one out because that was a big W for me. I'm proud of that one. And now the bar is gone. It's just completely ripped out of the concrete. So that kind of just lives there as it is. And I'm happy about that. So that's my Till the End Volume 5 part. It was a very challenging video part to film. The time period did not make things a lot easier. I probably started filming that in like 2019 and ended somewhere the end of 2020 because that's right around the time I got hurt. So I couldn't skate for the next like a year or so. So I'd say like 2019 to like right around the end of 2020. And yeah, that was a good part. I look back on that with a lot of fond memories. There's a lot of good trips, a lot of miles, a lot of skating, and it was dope. I got to watch my friends grow up into the people they are now, and that's something I'll never forget. Before I go, special thank you to Artemis Inc. He tattooed these P448 shoes. I don't even know how he does it. I watched him tattoo the seats of a Porsche the other day on Instagram. The dude is extremely talented. If you don't follow him or you don't know him, go check him out on Instagram. I'll put his Instagram somewhere on the screen so you can check out the dope stuff he does like this. Thank you, Santa Cruz Skateboards. This was my pro part. This is my dream coming true. Shout out Kingswell, shout out Nick and Joey P, because without you guys, this video would have never happened. Also, shout out City of Reading, shout out Holistic Skate Shop. I appreciate all you guys who are watching, all my subs. Thank you guys for subbing. Let me know what you guys think. If this is the type of content you guys want to see, I got other video parts I can go back and watch, even down to the ones when I was trying to like even get in the van at all. So if there's some other stuff you want to see, let me know and I'd be happy to make it for you. As always, till next time, peace.